Alright, so this is Old Wounds and the original Airbenders. Again, 2 episodes back to back. Maybe because of the leak or whatever, I don't know. I can't remember if they ran them back to back. They must have once or twice, but I don't know if it was like an every week thing.
Yeah, they ran it back to back. Like once or twice, then there was like a couple week hiatus or something, or because they ran part of season. I don't know.
It's weird, but anyway, we got these 2 episodes. I'm OCD, so I'm going to move that a little this way. There we go. This first one, the Old Wounds, was that we find out more about Lin Beifong's background with her sister and why they had this falling out. Mostly because the sister kind of got away with murder, and then Vitov had to resign, and she sort of...
She totally...
No.
Well, not murder, but...
Well, no.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, and she believes it was because of her, and that she never made her mother happy, and she believes she played a part in that, so...
It was very kind of Lifetime movie of the week this week. I think both of them kind of had that vibe going.
And they finally have this big confrontation, and... Sure enough, they resolve their differences in a very not Lifetime movie of the week way. Until after the very not Lifetime movie of the week way.
And then they shake hands.
Yes. Shake hands and play nice. And then we have the other one, which is original Airbenders, which is Tenzin trying to teach the new Airbenders how to be exactly that. Airbenders, the romance between... the girl and boy, I forget their names.
Jinora and Kai.
Them. And pretty much just, it's mostly Tenzin's story, trying to figure out should he be a tough leader or should he be lenient, and him and his brother trying to also come together.
Actually, there's a lot of
a lot of siblings.
Actually, because it was also Jinora was in it, because... She wants to be considered a master and get a tattoo, which makes me wonder, is she going to get her head shaved then?
Well, no, when he said, I'll think about it, I was thinking to myself, the marketing and design team will have a heart attack, but I'll think about it. My guess would be no. My guess
maybe they'll put it on her arms or something.
Well, they did have one, because one of the avatars was a female airbender, and you saw, like, it was, like, half-shaved, I think. Like, it was up to, like, the middle of the forehead, and there was an arrow, but she still had long hair. So maybe it'll be that. I don't know. I thought I saw 1 or 2 women that had it totally shaved though too, like in the past season somewhere. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do. So yeah, both these episodes. It's interesting because the first one, I didn't quite know where it was gonna go. I thought maybe it was gonna be something heavier that happened in the past, but.
Well, when you see a scar like that, you have certain ideas about where that came from, and when I finally saw it, I'm like, oh, well, all right.
Yeah,
like it's kind of I'm like, not bad, but I was like, I thought it was like, attacked by some sort of super bending super criminal, like their equivalent of Zod or something, and instead it's like, no, my bratty sister totally did that when I tried to bust her.
It's kind of like, Indiana Jones's scar came from, just first time with the whip, whoops! It's like, okay, but it could have been something cooler. Just the whole feud between them, too, I thought, like, it's there, it's explained, but I thought, like, man, for her not even want the like her niece, like, get out of here, like, you're offering me peace, I tell you to fuck off. I mean, it's like, I really thought it was going to be something even heavier, but it's...
Well, I guess she was blaming Sue for her mother's early retirement and years of guilt or something, so...
Yeah, and especially when you hear that, like, the mother, even when she became a cop, the mother still never fully... I don't want to say accepted, but still didn't give that big a crap, and... You see a little bit of it there. You see even Toph has sort of become like, now I have to work with the system. I can't part of the system. Well, I can't do this because the police chief's daughter can't, be in prison, and this will probably cause even more...
It's kind of sad, actually, seeing older, depressed Toph.
It's sad, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, that's...
Yeah.
Like,
still badass, but just like, the frickin' migraines and the, oh my god...
It kind of makes sense, though, too.
No, it does.
It does.
It's just kind of sad because the last time we saw her, well, I guess there was a flashback in season 1, but
yeah,
last time we saw her, they were all kids and they were fighting the power, and now she is just the power, and
Well, yeah, even before, I mean, like you said with the flashback in season 1, it's like she was still kind of like, like they kind of got their ways. Hey, we're starting a new world. That's gonna be great and everything, and just things get complicated. And when you're the head of stuff, it's like you become the man, you become the system, and it's dealing with that and. Yeah, and even that, the comic, the Avatar comic, which I'm almost all the way through, The Search. I gotta read the last one. But it's kind of the same thing.
Can I read it?
Yes. After I finish the third one. But yeah, it's pretty much like just trying to figure out, where do you belong, how much of the system do you become, and how much of a person are you, and giving it. So it's... I saw that just in that little bit that they had of her. I thought they really sort of played that out.
But enough about that. Iron Varric.
Yes, Iron
please.
Varric.
Can I have another?
I always want more Varric. I will never get tired of Varric. I give him his own
that's
show
coming
or
back.
something.
That has to come back.
Yeah,
That
that
iron
suit.
suit,
Yeah,
yeah.
the whole magnet thing. Yeah, I mean they'll have fun.
I have a
with
feeling there's going to be a fight with the criminals and the
Oh.
iron suit and that. I love the ending too with the she's with the Metal Clan. I want to cut to the movie theater popcorn guy.
Everything
From Free
seems
Willy.
everything this season seems very much build up. Where and I kind of like the first season, honestly, where it's you had setup and then most of it was building up.
Considering the fights we've had so far though in this season,
Yeah, they're still good fights.
it's gonna be pretty epic, I think, because these have all I would think these are just like the taste.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because they're still giving the action like, hey, it's still kids, you gotta give them their little fighting and stuff like that, and they look great. But yeah, there's never anything like huge or gigantic, epic yet in terms of like the characters or the story because we're still building up our villains. They're still getting their act together. And they all look great. I mean, every time I come back to them, I'm like, oh god, love that design, love. The only one I always forget is like the long-haired guy. I'm always like, yeah, what's he doing? I always forget like what he did because I remember the one with their arms off. I remember the third eye chick. I remember the guy who got his head shaved and knows all about airbending and stuff. It's like, and there's like that other guy, the long-haired guy. I'm like, yeah, who?
His powers are so incredible that he's not even gonna bother showing.
Yeah, that's right. He's just gonna sit there and just be like, it's coming.
You just wait. What about like? My favorite line in the, I think my favorite line out of all these past 2 episodes so far is when he's like, you've become a bit of a wise avatar, and she's like, conflict resolution, it's what I do, and I was like, yes!
No, when she is talking, says, hey, have you ever thought about doing this or that or whatever, it's like, yes, thank you, God. I mean, this is so what we've been waiting for and we didn't get in season 2.
And there's almost a backlash now against like, well, now she's just bland and boring, and I'm like, well, after 2 seasons of putting up with her shit, I think we're okay focusing on some of the side characters.
I don't
have a problem.
I don't think she is, especially when you look at the first couple episodes where they're going off and trying to get the Airbenders, and they try Tenzin's way, it's not working.
Yeah.
She's like, well, now time to try a little tough love, and you automatically laugh because you know what's coming, and then she still doesn't have like the patience there is like, with the guy who won't leave his mom's house. It's like, you little twerp. It's still funny and it's still a character, but she's using her head and she's thinking and she's learning. And she's saying, hey, have you thought about this? She's been around.
It's also, these
times.
2 episodes were not about her that much to begin with anyway. So the fact that she's contributing anything from the sidelines, I think, is fine. I don't have an issue with it. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes this poor character can't win. It's like, oh, well, now she's too strong. Oh, well, now she's not strong enough. Oh, well, now she's just bland. Oh, well, at some point, just let her be.
I think she's fine this season, honestly.
Yeah, I think she's fine. I honestly thought she was fine the first season. Had they started off with her character in the second season as the first season, I probably would have stuck with it, but I probably would have been okay because it was a progression. It really was just that second season dip into what the hell? Now we've just regressed the character, but I don't have an issue with it like some people do. Yeah,
and it's funny because with these 2 episodes, I'm saying to myself, the Lin Beifong stuff, I definitely wanted to see what that was and get that resolved. And then, so I like that, even though it wasn't as heavy, but it's still there. It still works. I thought the resolution of her getting up saying good morning, that was a little rushed, but
it was just weird. You've never seen Lin Bei Fong. How's it going?
The only thing I can figure is maybe they're playing up the acupuncture, that it is opening up so much that maybe that was like, have the big fight, rest, and then we wake up, I just feel really good. Like, maybe, I think that's what they're playing up, because so much is opening up, and then it's such a rush, and then finally when the rest happens, you feel genuinely rested, like, both emotionally and physically.
And Bolin might be getting some love.
Yes. I was saying I really love it.
And that's all we're going to say about that.
Yes. I was saying I really...
It is what it is.
I love when, he says, look at this, we're sharing stuff, we're bonding, and... I was like, that's the most awkward yet somehow charming line.
I feel like that was almost directed at the audience, like, see, we can slow down.
Yeah, it's strangely enough, I was still like, okay, no, it still kind of works. And again, talking about Korra and, her consistencies, I like that she picks up metal bending very quick, because that's always been her strength, is that, with the exception of airbending, she could pick up everything really fast. That was like her big talent, so I like that they're like, wow, like, people really don't pick this up that quick, and she does, because she naturally does have that talent, and she understands the elements much more, so I like that. It still does play to different strengths.
And the Airbenders episode, legitimately pretty damn funny when I wanted to be.
Yeah,
it had comedy, but it also had like some drama as Tenzin's trying to overcome all of his issues trying to teach.
Yeah, with that episode, I'm saying to myself, as soon as it started, I'm like, God damn it, I know everything that's going to happen in this episode now, and I was sort of annoyed, but I so like those characters. I like this world. I like this environment.
Look to your left. Look to your right. One of you guys is not going to survive this.
Yeah, I mean, I love that kid. The only thing I was sort of like rolling my eyes a bit, saying, "Come on," is that Tenzin now sort of had the Korra moment where you go, "Come on, guy, you're still a teacher, and granted, you haven't been doing it for long, or with this many people, it would be different. But the extremes he goes to, I'm sort of going, no, you wouldn't go this far, I don't think."
Private Pie, what is your major malfunction?
Yeah, like it
was like, holy shit.
It was kind of funny, but you're also kind of going, all right, come on. He's still, he's the meditator. I was kind
of okay with it, because I figured this was kind of their comedic episode. So, and I thought it was actually really funny. It was a good moment for Jinora. I love the concept of like, well, how about I send a voicemail to one of the spirits, and then that spirit will tell another spirit, and then Boomy's just like, oh, what's that? Trouble at the old mill? Janora's in trouble? Purple monkey dishwasher? Like, does it get garbled along the way?
Actually, that was another thing I wanted to bring up. I'm glad there's spirits again. We got so many spirits going around, and even if they're not doing a ton, it's still like, no, they're around, though. They're there.
Those flying bison rustlers, I think you pointed out, you're like, looking at the size of that bison fur that he's wearing, the lead bad guy, that has to be a baby.
He killed a baby. He just killed a baby bison. I'm just looking at this like,
that's messed up.
Yeah, because no, it's like, it's not the size of a big bison. It's like the actual pattern on the back. It's like, that's a baby bison.
Yeah, and then I sat there just staring at it, and I just looked at Doug. I'm just like, oh.
Well, and they're pretty cliched and boring.
I called them the cliche gang. Yeah, like literally every line of dialogue they had was on an episode of Scooby-Doo. Hey, where'd you find these kids? They were snooping around. Well, we'll take them with, and their screwy dog too. But you know what? They're idiot villains.
Yeah, they're there for an episode, and I said,
and we got a great fight out of him. And I love Boomy's moment. It's just like, we got to do this. Airbenders stick together, and there's just like, you quit. Remember? He's like, yeah, I'm not quitting now. So everybody had like a good moment.
It still came to a nice resolution, and everything did sort of come into play. And I thought that was a nice. With the two brothers, I thought that was a nice sort of meeting point between the two of them as well, because Boomy is a good leader. I mean, he's good at getting people's attitudes up and motivating them, and I like that there is, but Tenzin has the technique, so I like sort of the meeting of the two, and though they're probably going to work off each other with that. So I dug it. It was still good. It is just one of those things where it's like, oh, I know what's going to happen, which, again, for any other cartoon show, like every cartoon show growing up in the 80s, you knew scene for scene what was going to happen, so I'm just doing this by Korra measures, you know. It's like when I know it's sort of like, okay,
it's
but
not the strongest episode writing-wise,
but the
it's
world is still so pretty.
it's a necessary episode. I think we needed to see them being taught at some point. And I think a lot of this just goes back to the fact that they're creating these as individual miniseries. Like, I get the feeling had this been done as a full three-season story arc, the writing on these shows would be a little stronger. But I feel like it's kind of like, okay, now we're on miniseries number 3.
Yeah,
now we have to
be
shoehorn these in,
something
because like the writing in like these past 2 episodes, particularly the one with Lin Bei Fong, is tight. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, did they crammed her entire backstory in? They've got Opal's issues in there. They've got Sue's, like, literally, I'm just like, man, they are not like wasting a minute.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel too rushed, which I'm kind of impressed
I think
by.
overall
the only thing I felt a little rushed, like I said, is when Lin Bei Fong wakes up in that one episode.
Well, like the handshake and like, I promise not to kill you next time I see you. Yeah, that's great, lovely. Glad everything's working out.
Yeah, I mean...
Cut to bad guys.
You know, and even the resolution in the original Airbenders, you know, I think today I've learned that blah, 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 and maybe I realized that it's like, yeah, okay, I mean, we know this drill, but...
Cue the full house guitar music.
Yeah, but it's still... It still works okay enough, because you do see the progression of how they got
I was on my public Facebook, I was calling this the apology tour, because both episodes have the exact same formula of resolving an issue, all characters come together at the end, and apologize for it. I was wrong. No, I was wrong. Well, maybe I need to learn from this. Well, maybe I need to learn from this. Then let's agree. Handshake.
Yeah.
But it works. Like, it's just way worse out there. I don't have a problem with it. And I thought it was actually legitimately funny, so...
Yeah.
I thought they were actually pretty good episodes.
Yeah, the comedy is kind of getting strong again. Their reactions are so great. There's a lot of scenes where it's like... a line isn't especially funny, but the reactions are so great. And there's something about this season in particular that I think they've had in all the seasons of Korra, but the way they talk, their mouths are always kind of sideways like this, and the top lip is projecting out a little bit, but it creates... Comedically, it looks great, because it's always sort of kind of puckered.
I feel like the animation is a little different this time around. I don't know why. I thought it was the same group that was doing it.
Well, no, it's different. I don't think it's one group that does an entire season. I think it's different.
I don't know.
Episodes is a different.
This feels different. I swear to God, sometimes I feel like I'm watching Justice League or something, or it feels like one of those DC animated.
The original
bad.
Airbenders one, it looked very.
It's not bad. I don't have a problem with it. It's just for some reason this season I'm like, yeah, this animation looks a little different. Like, they've all kind of looked different actually so far. But I don't know.
I'm still blown away by those backgrounds. I mean, like I said, just a little tilt this way, it's like, you know, upward or downward. It's like, you don't need to animate that. All you need is a pretty painting, but it's like they CG that whole thing so the mountains actually look three-dimensional and they're turning just a little bit when the camera pans over, so it's just so impressive.
Oh, and the Earth Queen. What a bitch! Did she totally eat the fucking bear?
She better not. That was the only bear.
Bosca!
Everything's always like a platypus bear or a bunny bear or whatever. That was the only just bear.
That was an endangered species.
It was just
right,
a
it
bear.
was just a bear.
So
no, I heard that. I'm like, holy crap! Like. Poor Bosca.
That bear better not be dead.
That better be a rumor or an urban legend.
So,
and then the other in-joke, Tenzin's #1 fan at the school there is named Otaku.
Otaku, yeah.
I was like, all right, well played.
No, there's definitely some good jokes in there. So yeah, the humor was definitely strong. I thought the atmosphere and the environment was very strong, and not a ton happened story-wise. Granted, we did get Lynn's backstory, which is nice, and we saw a little bit more of Toph, which is great.
Well, we have an otaku now. Can we do like one version that's even creepier and call him Hikikomori?
Well, as long as he does a vlog series.
Nice.
So, I think it's about it.
Hey.
I think that's about it.
Good episodes.
Yeah, we'll just see you next one. Take care.